The science and psychology of love at first sight. Have you ever walked into a room, seen someone, and immediately felt that spark? That instant connection, like you've known them forever? That's love at first sight. But why does it happen? Can it be real love, or is it just an illusion? Today we're going to dive into the science and psychology behind this powerful experience. First, let's talk about the science of attraction. When we experience love at first sight, it's often a mix of physical and psychological factors that come together in a very specific way. It's not just about looks. This area of the brain is responsible for releasing dopamine, the feel-good hormone. That rush we feel in those initial moments isn't just a fleeting sensation. It's a chemical reaction in our brain. But it's more than that. When we meet someone new, our brain immediately starts processing information. Without us even realizing it, our brain is scanning for compatibility, whether it's body language, facial expressions, or even tone of voice. These quick impressions activate certain parts of the brain, particularly the ventral tegmental area, the same part responsible for reward and pleasure. The science behind love at first sight. To understand why we experience love at first sight, we also need to consider our evolutionary biology. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors didn't have Tinder or social media to figure out who might be compatible. Instead, attraction had to happen quickly for survival. When we see someone and feel drawn to them, it might be our instincts kicking in, signaling that this person could be a good match for reproduction or partnership. Features like symmetry, clear skin, or confident posture may subconsciously signal health and genetic fitness. These traits would have been highly desirable for survival. So, love at first sight could actually be the brain's way of quickly assessing whether someone is genetically compatible. It's not always rational, but it's deeply embedded in our biology. Now let's dive deeper into the psychology of it. Psychology tells us that love at first sight isn't always about immediate love. It can be intense infatuation, a powerful mix of emotional and cognitive factors. The science of instant connections. Our brains are wired to form connections based on patterns. If someone reminds us of a past positive experience, say someone who made us feel loved or safe, we might feel an instant connection. This is called associative memory. Of course, the context in which we meet someone plays a huge role. Research shows that people are more likely to feel love at first sight in certain environments, like at a party, during a romantic movie, or in a setting designed for connection. When we're in a romantic or emotionally charged environment, we're more open to connection. This context primes us to be more receptive to feelings of attraction. For example, sharing something personal, like a deep conversation or a moment of vulnerability, can amplify that initial spark. Ever met someone who immediately reminded you of someone you cared about, or felt like you had an instant bond? That's not a coincidence. Your brain makes associations, and it amplifies those feelings of warmth and familiarity. Understanding love at first sight, infatuation or true love. In other words, we're more likely to believe in love at first sight when we're in the right emotional state and environment. It's the perfect storm of chemistry, context, and psychology. But here's the big question. Is love at first sight real love? Or is it just an intense moment of attraction? The answer isn't as simple as yes or no. While love at first sight can feel intense, true love involves emotional depth, trust, and time. True love grows with time, shared experiences, and emotional intimacy. While love at first sight may ignite that initial spark, it's the commitment, communication, and mutual respect that sustain a relationship in the long run. So, while that first spark may feel like love, it's important to recognize it for what it is: infatuation. It's an exciting start, but the journey of real love takes patience and understanding.